lost in the noise, seeking the light. Echoes of ages, shining so bright. Welcome to ancient wisdom, stories anew. Wisdom for me and wisdom for you.
Beyond the finish line, how a young runner learned life's greatest prize. In a vibrant village in the hills near Jerusalem, young Ethan was known for his swift feet and a spirit consumed by the thrill of victory. For him, success was measured only by crossing the finish line first, his heart hungry for the roar of the crowd. One festive day, as the villagers gathered for their annual harvest games, Ethan prepared for the main running contest. 2 other swift young men were his challengers. A large, excited crowd had assembled, and among them, having travelled from afar upon hearing of the spirited contests, was the aged and revered Rabbi Shammai, his eyes holding a calm, observant light. The race began. It was a blur of speed, but Ethan, digging deep into his reserves of strength and youthful power, surged ahead and triumphantly crossed the marked line first. The crowd erupted in cheers, waving scarves and shouting Ethan's name. Rabbi Shammai, however, remained still, his expression thoughtful, offering no outward display. Ethan, basking in the adoration, felt immensely proud, his chest swelling with the feeling of importance. A second race was called. 2 new eager challengers stepped forward. Again, the contest was fierce, but Ethan's determination saw him through to another victory. Once more, the crowd cheered wildly, and once more, Rabbi Shammai watched, calm and silent. Ethan's pride grew. "Another race! Another race!" he called out, eager for more acclaim. It was then that Rabbi Shammai stepped forward. The crowd quieted respectfully. He gestured, and 2 new figures were gently guided to the starting line beside Ethan. A frail, elderly woman, her back bent with many years, and a man whose eyes saw no light, guided by a small child. Ethan stared, his confidence faltering into bewilderment. "Rabbi!" he exclaimed, a hint of indignation in his voice. "What jest is this? These are no challengers for a race." "A race it is, young Ethan," Rabbi Shammai replied, his voice soft but firm. The signal was given. Ethan, after a moment's hesitation, sprinted to the finish line alone, leaving the elderly woman and the blind man standing where they were. He raised his arms, expecting the usual cheers. But this time, a profound silence fell over the crowd. No one cheered, no one waved. They simply watched him, their expressions unreadable. A chill touched Ethan's heart despite his victory. He turned to Rabbi Shammai, confused. "What has happened, Rabbi? Why do the people not share in my success?" "Race again, Ethan," the sage replied, his gaze steady. "But this time, all 3 of you shall finish the race together." Ethan looked at the frail old woman, then at the blind man. A flicker of understanding, a new thought began to stir within him. He walked to them, and with a gentleness that surprised even himself, he offered an arm to the lady and a guiding hand to the blind man. The race began anew. Ethan walked slowly, ever so slowly, matching his pace to theirs, supporting them, guiding them. Together, the 3 of them crossed the finish line. This time, the crowd did not just cheer. They roared with a joy that seemed to shake the very hills. They waved, they clapped, they even threw flowers. Rabbi Shammai smiled, a deep, warm approval in his eyes, and nodded his head slowly. Ethan, standing between his 2 companions, felt a surge of pride and importance far greater and warmer than anything he had felt before. "Rabbi," he asked later, his voice quiet, "I do not fully understand. Who were the people cheering for so loudly? Which one of us three was the winner in their eyes?" Rabbi Shammai looked deeply into Ethan's eyes, placing a gentle hand on each of the boy's shoulders. "Ah, Ethan," he replied softly, "in this last race you have won something far more precious than in any contest of speed you have ever run before. And for this race, the crowd cheered not for any single winner, but for the victory of the human heart." The sage continued, "In the great race of life, young friend, ask yourself, what are you truly running for? Is winning your only measure of worth? And who are you running against? For if you always strive to outpace everyone, especially those less able, soon the cheering will fade, and you may find yourself alone at a finish line that feels empty. When you look back on your life, the truest question will be, who ran beside you? If they were weaker, did you lend your strength? Did you help them cross the line with dignity? Did you find a way to finish together? That is the race that fills the heart with lasting joy and earns the truest honour. So run the race of life with all your spirit, Ethan. But remember always, it is not merely that you win or lose that matters, but how you run the race and whom you choose to run it with.